Hey! The last digit of your like on this video by each who you are from Melon Playground, and the last digit of your subscription to my channel will show your Melon Playground item. So go down right now, subscribe and give me a like. Look at the screen. Notice the last digit of your like and your subscription and write in the comments who you are from Melon Playground. It's simple, if your like is number 8 and the last digit of your subscription is number 5, you're a lemon and a cactus. Show your imagination and enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, dear friends. You are on the Melonfonk channel. In this video, I will show you about 7 new backgrounds in Melon Playground. But before the video starts, I want to say a huge thank you to these guys for being in my video. If you want to be in my next video, then you need to do a few things. First, you need to subscribe to my channel. Second, like it. Third, write your top comment of 4 words or more. And don't forget to watch this video from beginning to end. Everything is very simple. Follow all these conditions and enjoy watching. So dear friends, in anticipation of update 26.0 and also the Halloween contest, I'd like to show you some very interesting backgrounds in the Melon Playground that might be released for this update. Overall, I think it would be a very smart and quality move from the developers to add either a new sit with a new background under update 26, where there will be a Halloween story, some scary background, some spooky, I don't know. Overall, I think it would be very interesting. Background to any map, not just the infinite city. And I'll second them here as well because that's a really cool idea as far as I'm concerned. But agree, guys. And the first background is the cemetery background. This is actually very spooky and would be a cool background for the 26.0 update to the chalk background. First of all, it fits the chalk background concept perfectly, and secondly, it fits the Halloween concept really cool too. And I think it would be really cool to add something so spooky and interesting. First of all, you could tie a huge amount of Easter houses to it. Also, it could be tied into the story in some way and continue the story arc like they've done in previous updates. Overall, I think this kind of background should look like this. It's something very atmospheric, something very dark, and yet as detailed as possible. A cemetery, which always scares us, because this is about the theme of the dead after all, but about death we fear probably the most. But there's nothing wrong with that either. It's just our instincts to fight for life. It makes us emotional, but anything that makes us emotional attracts us even more. That's why I think a background like this would fit in perfectly. Tell us what you think in the comments. And let's move on to the next background. The next background is also quite atmospheric and gloomy. I decided to include it in this list for some reason, because I personally liked it a lot. It's a kind of post-apocalypse or Chernobyl atmosphere. We see some ghost in the background, as if he is going to chase us now, and he will chase us to the very end. Of course, this also evokes emotions of fear, emotions of anxiety, as if we will be chased and pursued for a very long time. Also, we see some overgrown cars already in the ground, and it even looks very beautiful, as if we are looking and touching a little bit of history. Chernobyl. Because it is always interesting, and a lot of fans in principle this theme gathers around itself. I think that everyone has played the game Stalker, or at least once heard about it, and I think it would be very interesting to add something like this to the game. Your opinion, of course, write in the comments, and let's move on to the next background. The next background, I wanted to make some nice lamp and that it was warm for our soul because there is enough gloomy in what could be done for the endless city. Well, imagine, endless some pink sunsets, some houses in the background. We see some satellite dishes and small houses. There must be people living there and enjoying nature, or maybe it's some kind of protection zone that protects our nature from other people. We see mountains, and these mountains just gently envelop our heads as if we are in the middle of a great thing. What I like especially cool about this one is the atmosphere, and I think this background fits perfectly stylistically and under the ambient Melon Playground. And I would without any hesitation include it in the game. Write your opinion in the comments, of course. And let's move on to the next background. The next background is also quite gloomy, but at the same time you want to write a story about it. Well, imagine this picture. On an abandoned bridge crossing a dark lake, the story of a gloomy cemetery began. Local legends claimed that beneath the bridge, hidden by misty shadows, lay an ancient tomb that had been watched over by spirits for centuries. A young switchblade seeker named Melon decided to uncover the secrets of the place. He armed himself with a lantern and an old journal. To this graveyard, There he found a rusty gate on which hung a lock decorated with unusual symbols. Then, moving forward, he came across an old crypt. Inside, he found ancient artifacts and records telling of a powerful artifact hidden here for centuries. This artifact, according to the record, could grant unknown power to its possessor. Melon, ignoring his fear, moved on, opening ancient shards and solving puzzles. He got closer and closer to the artifact. In the center of the abandoned chapel, he saw a glowing stone. As soon as he touched it, everything around him went dark. The spirits guarding the artifact appeared before him. They told him that only those whose intentions are impure can gain the power of the artifact. Melon realized that his thirst for knowledge and his desire to help his people were his true motives. The spirits then granted him the artifact. From that time, Melon became the keeper of ancient knowledge and protector of his people. The next background will be in an abandoned old city somewhere in the year 2200. And in this sullen, old, futuristic city, with skyscrapers stretching across the gloomy sky, a small green lodge served as a shelter for the survivors. Under its tent lay an adventurer named Melonfonk, inspired by legends of hidden artifacts. Despite the crude mechanical environment around him, he believed that there were still hopes and mysteries waiting to be found in this industrial landscape. But he prepared for another journey, ready to unlock the secrets of the ancient ruins and awaken the spirits of the past to bring hope back to this bleak world. For even amidst the steel and fog, there can always be a corner where green and light lives. As Melon continued his journey, he came across an abandoned industrial ruin. In the heart of the abandoned city, he found an old laboratory where experiments were once conducted. Shadows of the past were seen all around, but Melon was sure what would help bring light back to this world. Each step closer to his goal was filled with anticipation and trepidation. In the depths of the laboratory, he discovered an ancient artifact that emitted a soft blue glow. This artifact was said to be able to restore the lost balance and bring back the prosperity that had released the streets of the city. Now, holding the artifact in his hands, Melon realized that the future of this world depended on his determination and courage. The path ahead was full of challenges, but Melon's spirit was unwavering. Rate this story from 1 to 10 in the comments. Do you like this background and would you like to add it to the game? I will be very interested to know your opinion. Well, let's move on to the next background. The following background would be a Halloween concept too. On a gloomy night, as the moon hung over an old cemetery, mystical light came through the windows of a large, ominous house. The leaves of the trees, painted in autumn colors, rustled in the light wind, creating an ominous atmosphere. A green military jeep, standing next to a man whose head was shaped like a pumpkin, creating a frightening picture. Melon, the main character, was in this graveyard for a reason. He had heard stories about the cursed house and the hidden treasures that were kept there. Armed with only a lantern, he decided to explore the neighborhood, encountering riddles and spirits of the past. As he approached the house, the shadows around him began to thicken and the ground beneath his feet shook. Melon knew he had many mysteries to unravel, capable of changing his destiny and the fate of his world. In every gourd and over the coffin lurked a clue, and the gloomy light of the lamp illuminated his path to the truth. Write in the comments whether you would like this background to get into the game and rate it from 1 to 10. And let's move on to the next background. Well, the next background will be about the Wild West. Amidst the desolate expanse of the West, a forgotten town stretches beneath the gloomy mute, where secrets hide at every turn. Two large wooden buildings, covered in pollen and thyme, bury the story of a once pro-flowering place. One of them bears a plaque with stylized Wookiees, indicating a once bustling saloon, now consumed by silence and oblivion. Melon, the protagonist, has come to this town in search of a legendary ancient power. Under the shade of a huge cactus, he prepares for a dangerous adventure. Eric knows that around every corner there may be answers as well as dangers lurking. Next, the silhouette of a tower is seen against the backdrop of the mountains, like a guard post that holds its own mysteries. Moving forward through the crumbling streets, Melon encounters the spirits of the past who try to warn him. They tell him of the great trials that lie ahead. Despite this, Melon's determination is unwavering. Each step, each discovery brings him closer to his goal, to unraveling the mysteries of the old city and its inhabitants. Write in the comments whether you want Wild West to appear in the chalk playground. I will be very interested to know your opinion. But this is the end of my video. Thank you for watching, and good night, goodbye, and remember, buddy, and as always, see you the other day.